कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय हरये परमात्मने प्रणतक्लेशनाशाय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। वन्दे श्रीराधिकां देवीं बृन्दारण्यविहारिणीं यस्याः कृपां विना कोऽपि न कृष्णं ज्ञातुमर्हति। पुञ्जीभूतं प्रेम गोपाङ्गनानां मूर्तिभूतं भागधेयं यदूनाम् एकीभूतं गुप्तवित्तं श्रुतीनां स्यामीभूतं ब्रह्म मे सन्निधत्ताम्। व्यासं वसिष्ठनप्तारं शक्ते पौत्रमकल्मषं पराशरात्मजं वन्दे सुकतातं तपोनिधिम्। वासुदेव 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 सर्ववेदार्थतत्त्वज्ञं वेदार्थप्रतिपादकं पुराणसारसर्वज्ञं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्। శ్రీకైవల్యపదంబు చేరుటకునై చింతించెదన్ లోకరక్షైకారంభకు భక్తపాలన కళా సంరంభకున్ దానవోద్రేకస్తంభకు కేళిలోల విలసదృగ్యాల సంభూత నానాకంజాత భవాండకుంభకు మహానందాంగనాడింభకున్. మన ఉదయం భాగవత ప్రకాశం మాస్టర్ గారు ప్రసాదించినటువంటిది ఆవిష్కరించుకోవడం అనేటువంటిది జరిగింది. మొదటి భాగం అంటే మొదటి స్కంధం అన్నమాట. ఆ మొదటి స్కంధంలో మొదటి భాగం ఈ రహస్య ప్రకాశంలో ఉన్నటువంటిది మొదటిగా ఉన్నటువంటిది. సో దిస్ ఈజ్ అబౌట్ శ్రీమద్ భాగవతం. You know, this Bhagavatam is one of the scriptures which was given by Vedavyasa. Vedavyasa, who was the son of Lord Parasara, the great sage, Rishi, and his Parasara, who was a grand master, who has classified the Vedic wisdom, and then he brought a greatest light into form, and that is Vedavyasa, who is the son of Parasara. So this Vedavyasa was the first disciple of Parasara, and this whole Vedic wisdom which is existing ever since the creation exists, because the wisdom of the whole creation exists ever since the creation exists. And this wisdom it has dawned upon the insight, it has dawned upon the rishis, and this Parasara, he has come down into form for this very purpose. And this was some 5,000 years ago what happened before the advent of Lord Krishna into form. So this Vedavyasa, who was contemporary to Lord Krishna, he was given the task of classifying the Vedic wisdom, and along with his colleagues and disciples, Vedavyasa has done all this work to preserve this wisdom and to classify this wisdom and to bring it into the form which is easily perceptible to the human kingdom, human beings, especially in this Kali Yuga. And after classifying the Vedic wisdom, the wisdom of the universe, he has also given the great Itihasa, the epic Mahabharata. He has given first in the name of Jaya, and then it was once again expanded by his own disciple, and then it has taken the form of Bharata, and further on it was expanded into the form of Mahabharata, which gives all the laws, the eternal laws, and it gives everything, all the wisdom, all the sciences and all these things. It is not only the story of the war. Unfortunately, in the present times, people understand Mahabharata as only the war between the brothers, but it is not so. The Mahabharata is a text which is a compilation of all the wisdom. And also Vedavyasa has given Brahma Sutras, the aphorisms. And then he has given 18 Puranas. The first Purana was given by Parasara, Vishnu Purana Samhita it is called, and subsequently Vedavyasa has given the other 17 Puranas with the instruction of his father and guru, Parasara. And even after this, he felt not contented because he was still thinking of something which is yet to be given to the humanity. And for that, because the coming age is Kali age, Kali Yuga. So, for the human beings in the Kali Yuga, they need also some such text which gives not only just the laws and all these sciences and all this knowledge and all this, but the experience, divine experience. And then he was just waiting, and waiting for his guru, for his master. And then Narada manifested himself before Vedavyasa, and then he explained him. He told him that, my dear boy, you have given everything, no doubt, all the wisdom and all these sciences and all these things, all the dharmas, all the laws, but that is not just enough for the human beings. You have to give very important thing which leads everybody into the divine experience, and that is Bhagavata. What is Bhagavata? So Bhagavata is, that is the book of devotion in the form of the stories of the life stories of devotees of the Lord, who lived according to the law and also who lived always in the divine experience, and who led the humanity, who set themselves as the example for all the human beings. How can they live in Lord consciousness? How can they continuously can experience the sweetness of the Lord presence? And that is given in Bhagavata. And then only Vedavyasa got completely satisfied that he could give such a thing, a very precious thing. There is nothing precious than the divine experience which leads us to the Lord consciousness. So therefore, Vedavyasa is very much now pleased for this. And the Lord, and Narada said to him, the Lord of the universe will be pleased not just by the knowledge and wisdom or your knowledge of the sciences and all these things, but he will be pleased when you experience the Lord consciousness in the presence of those holy persons who are devoted and who are always in that experience. So, the stories of those, and not only the stories of those, but Bhagavata gives us also all the plan of the universe and every detail of the cosmogenesis and anthropogenesis also. That is Bhagavata. So there is nothing there to be left which is not given by Bhagavata, and Bhagavata gives us the essence of the Vedic wisdom, and that is given in such a form that you get directly into the experience of the Lord consciousness. That is the importance of Bhagavata. So Vedavyasa has given Bhagavata, and this Bhagavata was given as an initiation to his disciple and son Shuka, who was an Avadhuta, who was always such a great light, who is always in the divine experience. He has no other thing than the experience of the Lord everywhere and everyone. There is nothing for him except the Lord consciousness. He always emitted this light to others. When others could experience in his presence the Lord consciousness, the experience of the Lord of the universe, such a one is Shuka. It happened that he also happened to be the son of Vedavyasa. And then what happened is, there was the king, the great king Parikshit, who was the grandson of Arjuna. And this Parikshit is the devotee of the Lord, a great devotee of the Lord, and he was also a king initiate. He is called Rajarshi. Rajarshi means he was also a king and also an initiate. A king initiate. There are many king initiates like this. And Parikshit also was such a king initiate. And even while he was in the womb of his mother, he was protected by Lord Krishna. Because at the end of the war of Mahabharata, there was the fellow called Ashwathama. He was the son of Dronacharya. Dronacharya was the guru for all the Kauravas and Pandavas, the royal family, to teach them all the archery and all the weapons and all these things, how to use them. But he was not fit to be a right guru because he has personal motive in training his disciples. So, his son Ashwathama also inherited such qualities from his father, wicked qualities. That is why he took the side of the Kauravas, even though he knows that the dharma is with Yudhishthira and his brothers. At the end of the war, this Ashwathama, he was enraged for the destruction or the death of the Kauravas, and then he killed the 5 sons of Pandavas while they were sleeping at night, mercilessly, not in the war, but after the war. And then he wanted to eliminate even the seed of the Pandavas. That was the very wicked idea for him. But he could not realize that there is the Lord protecting the Pandavas. And then he used a very dangerous weapon. It is not just a weapon like sword, but it is a weapon of the energy, on the energy level, a very powerful weapon. It is called Brahmastra. So he focused this Brahmastra upon this embryo, the fetus of the lady who is the daughter-in-law of Arjuna. Her husband was also killed in the war. So this fellow wanted to eliminate even this embryo so that there should be no clan of Pandavas anymore. That was his idea. But then this lady was also a devotee of the Lord Krishna. She prayed the Lord to protect her pregnancy from the fire of this dangerous energetic weapon. Then the Lord took the responsibility to protect this developing embryo, and then he took a minute form, entered the womb of this lady, and then protected this developing child from the destructive energy of this weapon used by Ashwathama. And then she delivered the child, and then the child was not moving, and they were told that if the child is touched by a celibate person, then he will come to life. Then they were searching who is that celibate person. Then they went to the grandfather Bhishma who was on the bed of the arrows, and asked him. He said, you go to Lord Krishna and get him touched by, because he was the protector. He has protected him in the womb of the mother, and now also the child should be touched by the Lord Krishna himself. Then he will come to life. Then this child was taken to the Lord, and he touched him, blessed him, and he came to life. And this was this King Parikshit. While he was a child, he was right from that childhood, he was under the protection of the Lord. And he was directed, also he was trained as a disciple by Yudhishthira, the eldest of the Pandavas, who was encrowned by Krishna himself after the war. And this boy, right from childhood, he was worshipping the Lord in every form, and he has inherited, imbibed the divine qualities along with the royal qualities from Yudhishthira. And Lord Krishna was always protecting and guiding him all the time, so that he will be the predecessor, so he will be the successor to take up as the king of this land and to rule the people in a very righteous form, righteous manner, and to protect the law. So like that he was brought up, and he was a very pious person. He worshipped all the people as the manifestation of the Lord himself. He loved everyone. He served everyone as the Lord Emperor. So that was Parikshit. So this Bhagavata came into existence into the form of the present text when Parikshit requested Sukayogi to initiate him into Bhagavata within 7 days. Why in 7 days? Because he was given a curse by a young fellow that he should die by snake bite within 7 days. And this was informed to him that he is going to die due to the power of the curse on the 7th day by being bitten by the snake. And having known this, he is not afraid or depressed, but he wanted to get initiated into Bhagavata before he leaves this body. That was the greatness of Parikshit. So then he invited all the rishis, and then he invoked Shukayogindra. This Shukayogi manifested before the king, and then he has initiated him into Bhagavata. That is how the text of Bhagavata finally came into existence in the present manner. Through this initiation by Shukayogi to this great emperor Parikshit. So Parikshit was the instrumental cause to bring this Bhagavata in text into existence and available to all of us, fortunately, in the present form. That was composed by Vedavyasa in Sanskrit. And subsequently, this Bhagavata was translated into Telugu some 500 years ago by another great saint called Potana, exactly in the manner how it is given by Vedavyasa. And then, fortunately, Master E.K. has given his explanatory commentary, and he brought all the secrets of this Bhagavata. He unlocked all the secrets of Bhagavata by giving this commentary, this text on this text Bhagavata. This is how we could get this text. We feel very fortunate because such a wonderful text which has all the secrets of this creation and secrets of our inner self were unlocked by the Master and explained in a very wonderful manner so that everyone can have this experience, everyone can get into this text so easily. That is how Master has given this. So in this Bhagavata, in the very first part of this contains, first of all the praise of the Lord in various forms by his Potana, and then he explains the context, how he was directed to take up the translation of this great Bhagavata into Telugu, how he was directed by the divine force. That is also he explained this. And all this is explained once again by his disciple Suta, another Rishi, to all other Rishis and the disciples once again. That was the text of Vedavyasa. All this is explained by once again in Telugu, in this Bhagavata. And this gives us many keys about the advent of the Lord into the human form. And this also gives, first of all, because it was initiation from Narada to Vedavyasa, then Narada has given how he was initiated into the experience of the Lord in the previous time scales, kalpas. In Sanskrit, kalpa is a grand time scale, much larger than the manvantaras. There is a wonderful calculation given in all the Puranas. We can calculate the extent of the yugas, mahayugas, manvantaras, and the kalpa of the Brahma also. So here Narada has given his own experience, how he was initiated by the elders into the divine experience in the previous kalpas. This Bhagavata starts with this story. At that time, Narada was born as the son of a lady who was serving a holy family who were the hosts for holy persons, holy people, where always the people gather, holy people, and they do some rituals. They also enlighten people into the divine experience. There this lady, the mother of Narada in the previous incarnation,